Hello everyone, welcome to a new Marvel Snap Zone coaching session. And today we're gonna talk about a very diverse metagame, uh, the long history of making tier lists. This is one of the bigger ones I had to make. There are, I believe, decks for 15 decks, and are all tiers are at the highest threshold. I usually give you a little explanation. Depending on the average performance, I can change the thresholds a little bit. So the cube average can be more or less like higher down. 0.5 is usually the high one. Like I sometimes go to 0.6 where they're really like two decks that are completely crushing the rest of the competition, but usually even add a tier S. Tier 2 at 0.5, usually it's at 0.3, low is 0.25. And tier 3 is the same logic. Usually it's at like 0.15. So already the fact that the worst decks on this report average 0.2 game means that every deck can climb. So as you can see, there's a very long list. We'll go over them. Feel free to stop me if anything needs to be asked. Let's start with the silent performers. I believe Hammer Control would have been somewhere like high tier, low tier 1 if it had more games to back up the performance. And this is gonna be a T in the tier list. A lot of decks are gonna be like a mix of flexible art that can specific situations and a base of points. Already we can see it like the control archetype. Usually, control archetype, like reactive archetype, are trying to counter what the opponent is doing. Here, we have very little specific. These are like generic counter cards. Wake attacks location. Killmonger attacks one card. Mobius attacks card reduction. Shadow King and Shang-Chi attack big cards, and rest and Red Guardian just attacks a card with low power. And the rest is just, we have no Enchantress going synergy. We have no Cosmo for reveal synergy. This is a trend that we'll see in a lot of decks, and I feel like this is a really good way to sum up the current metagame. Is over the last, we've had a lot of very, very strong cards which are not attacking certain synergies, but they're good enough to just attack a wide range of decks. Honestly, I don't know yet if it's a good or a bad thing, because it makes you compete in more games, but that means it also makes you stay in more games that you ultimately lose. So I'm not sure exactly, like, does that make you win more games compared to a very simple situation where you're like, oh, I can win this one, or oh, I'm gonna lose this one. Today we're gonna see a lot of decks that are like, oh, I think I can win it, but if I mess up one card over the next 5 turns, I'm probably gonna lose it. Like, this is gonna be a team. So, tier 1, Ravonna Lockdown. The deck has been killing it for weeks now. It's really good in Conquest, really good in Ranked. There's Sasquatch in it. Professor X has been a really good ally to Sasquatch lately. The idea is pretty simple. Play 2 cards on turn 3, which with this deck is pretty simple. If you have Kitty Pryde plus any 2 cost, have about 2 dozens of. Or if you have Ravonna, you can play any low power card plus any 2 cost or Green Goblin. And if you have Sasquatch on turn 4, you're kind of guaranteed your Professor X is gonna win 5, because you're just like, alright, let's Professor X the Sasquatch, protect it from Shang-Chi, win the lane. That seems good. Next deck. Stop me on the deck. I'll just list like the obvious or the new patterns, what it's doing well in the metagame, but I won't go into all the intricacies, otherwise it's gonna. On reveal, basically the reason why this deck is really good is because, as we said with the control archetype, there are very little specific counters. like there aren't that many Cosmos. There are Red Guardians there are like cannonballs. There are cards that can disrupt it, but there are very little I'm gonna kill you unreveal synergy kind of decks. And the other really good thing for this deck is that Nomura actually is really good against X. Say Professor X your one card, you're like, oh, well, let me +5 it. Suddenly, you're doing really good. In addition to, you have Jeff, you have Ironheart, etc., etc. So, one of, let's say, like the most dominant force in the current metagame is Professor X plus Cannonball. This deck does really well against it, which naturally incredibly good.
I wonder why Professor. I was going to say, I wonder why Professor X decks haven't started using Nomura more. I mean, even if you miss and they have some things on their side of the Prof X lane, you could just Nomura that and start growing it.
What you mean? You would need Nomura the Prof X then?
Yeah, with Ravona, you can get Prof X on 4, Nomura 5.
Well, the thing is, like, I understand your idea, but like, we have Jeff here, we have Jeff here, we have Jeff here. You better be really, really solid on your bet. Because you're going to play your one power card, hoping for Nomura to make it a 6. And unless you play Jeff, that means you can't Prof X something bigger than a 3 because of 4 and you would lose to a Jeff. So I like the idea. I think it's very surprising, and maybe we could like sneak in the Nomura on turn 6, actually. Have the information of it. Like maybe they count the Jeff, but they don't count the Nomura, for example. But I think in the current environment, there's probably too much of Jeff. And I guess it's just safer to, like, this deck does it like Sasquatch and then Prof X Sasquatch and don't make it too complicated.
Makes sense.
I
guess you'd have to set.
Go ahead.
You'd have to set Nomura and Jeff opposite each other, and I mean Nomura. I'm sorry, Jeff and Prof X opposite each other, and then as your insurance policy, Nomura both of them, which would give you, a 2/8 and a 5/6.
Yeah, but then you spent 3 turns win
right.
one. Well, you spent more than 3 turns because that means out of these 5 turns, 1 was Jeff, 1 was Ravona. So unless you had in this deck specifically Echo, or like you need to play more 1 cost, then you have specifically Prof X, and then you have specifically Nomura.
I mean, I guess if you're going to set that
with
up,
Wong and Odin, yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, I guess if you're going to set all that up, then you might as well just use Miss Marvel, right?
It feels simpler to be.
Yeah.
We'll have a shot at discussing that part of the deck.
Yeah. I mean, I'll just note that with, Odin or Wong, you can get that Prof X up to an 11. If you've got both, you can get it up to 21. That's a pretty solid.
Well, the thing is, in your pattern, when do you play Wong?
Yeah, you couldn't get them all out.
Turn 4 was
unless you're going to 7.
Turn 4 was Prof X, turn 5 was Nomura. So the only thing you can do is Odin on Nomura, and that means you have one lane. The lane you took the Jeff off, basically empty, and your Odin Nomura lane has like Ravona on it, like a 70. So you have like 0, 70, and your Prof X lane. I personally don't feel confident winning a lane at 17 in the current metagame.
Hey, it makes sense.
Plus, I mean, this doesn't feel like I'm gonna have priority very often, so they can cannonball my Nomura, they can play a ton of stuff. I mean, I understand the idea, and maybe it's worth digging a little bit, but right now on paper, it feels like a really cute combo, but there's just not enough points to back it up. Like, it's too complicated for the kind of rewards that it gives.
Yeah. And I think in this meta, like, you've got to be flexible. You can't have it all come down to one game plan.
Right. I mean, you have Claw out there that will give you 8 now on the same lane, and does 12 for the turn.
Claw isn't played at all for some. It was played a lot after its buff, and then it disappeared. I don't even think it's in the tier list at all. All right, let's keep it going.
That's wild.
With a deck that I didn't know the name, so I named it Skamora. because it feels like a scam and there's Nomura and Scar.
I was wondering.
I mean, I looked at it and was like, how do I win? And then I understood. We win because there's not that much of shit in the current meta.
Yeah. I lost to this deck because of Luke Cage, and I forgot that Valkyrie doesn't. Luke Cage stops Valkyrie.
It only stops you can buff with
Right. Right. So I had a huge. I was planning to Valkyrie into the like a 20, 30 point, 20 something point lane.
Oh yeah.
And I was really surprised when the Valkyrie didn't go off. I
Yep.
was like, what happened?
Yep. Stupid moment right there.
Yeah, exactly.
So this deck is really good against Bishop. What else can it do?
Well, that's the thing,
Oh.
is like,
Yeah.
I actually lost to it in Conquest after writing the tier list, so I knew what it was. And kind of the same. I was like, alright, it's just gonna make a point. Just need to account for Scar. And actually, like, the thing is, the annoying cards match really well together. Because if you try to take away the points, you give them an opportunity to like Quake, Luke Cage, Shadow King you on the back door. And if you try to be too careful with like, oh, that location, they can do this, they're just like, oh, I'm just gonna slam points and not care. So it looks really weird, but after facing it, I was like, I guess I lost.
Thanks.
No, I get that.
Right. And the last in tier 1, and this wasn't a big surprise, Silver Surfer. This one came out of nowhere. This was the only list of Silver Surfer with two differences. Like, there were two lists of Silver, and the other list was basically the same, Mobius and Cosmo instead of other cards. And to me, this explains the meta really well. We have a lot of good cards, put them in a deck, make them make sense together, and it's probably good. Because really, like, when I look at this deck, I don't know if I started by Surfer, then I looked for good cards, or if I was like, well, Nocturne is good, Gladiator is good, Summers is good. Oh wait, they're all 3 costs! It's like, so I feel like no matter like which end you start, get to this deck, you either start with like, well, it's an iconic synergy, it's able to do a couple of points, and there are a lot of good 3 costs. Or you start by, wait, this card's good, and they all share the same cost. Love them. This feels like it is this metagame. Like, you find good cards and you're like, wait, you guys work together, let's make a deck. And that's the current meta.
Honestly, that Surfer's working this well also says something about how, it used to be for many months, anything that really required a turn 6 explosion could not be considered reliable. And it's just interesting to watch the turn 6 blockers all get nerfed or forgotten about.
Yeah, the
like people stopped playing Leech. Yeah, they stopped Goliath. Yeah.
I think
Leech is coming back. We'll talk about Leech.
The addition of Hope Summers, right? I mean, the addition of Hope Summers so that you don't have to depend on Sarah or anything
So you
else
don't have
that's
to retreat
targetable
against Mobius.
Yeah. Has made all the difference in everything.
Yeah.
It makes me wonder why Sandman isn't bigger right now, played on 5. Like, it could catch some people by surprise.
I don't think it's bad. I think, like, honestly, I think the current metagame has a lot of really good things. And the thing is, there might be so many that we're just forgetting about some. Like, when you're at a buffet, and you're just like, oh my god, everything looks so good, and you just forget to taste something because you already had a dozen other things. Maybe that's Sandman right now. Maybe we're like, wait, I can do Professor X in Cannonball. Yes, but I can also do Nomura stuff. Oh yes, but what about junk? And then in your mind somewhere, Sandman is like, hey, me, ready, coach. And you never think about the guy.
I mean, for turn 5 with this deck, I mean, if you were running Sandman and Leech as your 2 options on 5, you would be like so unstoppable, right? Because you have 2 cards that would just shut the deck down.
We test it later. All right, this was
fun,
tier
fun,
1,
fun.
And as you can see in tier 1, we have the
Wow.
Unreveal deck, which is kind of limited. But even if committed, like, we have plenty of flexibility. I mean, Rogue, Echo, Nocturne, Jeff. This is not like the old Black Panther or Nimzola, I get my combo or I leave. This is a much, much more flexible unreveal deck. And the other decks don't rely on any specific synergy. Here it's the Professor X Cannonball Ravonna package. This one is just Scar, Nomura alike points, but you still see flexible cards. And this one is just like, oh my god, there are like so many good 3 costs in the game, let me pull them in the deck.
It's funny, Scamora I think is the only one that doesn't build in energy rejection right now. But it's doing it with a lot of like, oh yeah, no, that's right. Okay.
Scar might want to say something about it.
Yeah, fair. I'm just like looking at the hopes, the Ravonnas, but no, exactly right.
I get what you're saying, but a 2/11 is pretty good when it comes to cost reduction. So.
Nope, you're right. I missed that clean.
All right, tier 2. Someone was talking about Leech. Literally the exact same deck as before the OTA. He's coming back. It's doing pretty well. I think it's the 3rd or 4th, it's actually written. 4th win rate overall in the entire report. 9.5 win rate. It's really, really good. The problem I've had with this one, because I tested it ahead of the tier list to understand, because in my mind I was like, alright, deck's dead. And it's kind of like what we were talking with the control deck. This one has easier snaps and retreats now compared to before, because before you felt that you could play every single game. And sometimes you were leeching, snapping, blinking the leech, and then we're like, oh, that's a deck with no unrevealed. Cool. Now, it's clearer because the fact that leech comes down a turn later is actually not really a problem. And Jubilee was really the card that made the deck compete in a points manner. Because if you look at the deck, I mean, apart from the 2 big guys in Claw, there's not many cards which are worth their cost. Well, there's Nocturne, Red Guardian, but I mean, 3/5 is good, but it's not gonna win you a lane. So actually now, because it's so clear that you compete when you have Jubilee, and you don't when you miss it, or like, unless you have something crazy, I don't know, like Jeff Quake, or like What We Do Quake, lock a lane, something really specific, the deck actually feels easier to play. And I don't know if that's better or worse, but because it's still in that phase where it's back, I think it benefits it right now, because it makes it easier to play, but it doesn't help the opponent, because opponents don't really know it's coming back. And when they see like Nebula into White Widow and Jeff and Red Guardian Nocturne, like at the end of the first 3 turns, like, yes, 5 decks to guess from. So I think right now this simplicity patterns is good. If the deck actually comes back and start talking about it and it becomes like a big thing, maybe you'll hurt it, because then it'll be easier to recognize and people will retreat more and they will lose cubes. But for now, it's a good deck.
I imagine this is a good deck for the weekend, with everybody trying to squeeze the Infinite quests out. The Leech being in there is really good for hella stuff.
You just want to
Well,
turn off
I noticed.
Hela?
No, like
I don't see the connection
with
with Leech
hella.
and the Infinite.
Oh, because like a lot of people are going to the hella deck to win to beat the Infinite quest. And so Leech counters Hella so well on 5, right? It still counters Hella well. So I wonder if it's strong for the weekend.
In Conquest, I mean, Corvus is here to say you can L on 5.
Yeah. Honestly, I would say, as I've been playing a lot of Hella lately, the best card against it right now is Cable. Just because you don't know until the end if they have your Hella or if you're going to draw it. And that creates a lot of interesting choice points. So Mill is pretty great against Hella right now.
I tried to play Mill. Sure. It's really good against Ella. The problem is the rest of the match.
Exactly. Yep.
I was up against a prof deck, and I on the I pigged his cannonball on like turn 1, and just and just snapped on him. And he played out the entire game and then was really surprised when I beat him. Like I was like, okay. But we, you know what we have to address, Dan? We have to address people who are playing Quake now for kind of the first time and are getting snarky on obvious Quake plays when I'm not playing Quake. I really need an emote that says like, yes, I saw that coming. I had no way to counter it. What am I supposed to do?
You need the
You
meme
know,
with like the
you didn't
curves.
invent this.
You need the meme with the curve where it's like low, super high, and low, and you're just like in the shadow, like Star Wars style, where they're like good Quake play, Bishop, good Quake play. You're just at the super top of the curve when everyone is like playing like normal Quake. This meme is difficult to explain in voice. I'll
I know what
make
you're
it.
talking about.
Yeah, we're gonna have a mind map on it later.
Exactly. I can actually make it with a mind map. It's really easy.
Well, I did. I didn't say this, but I was watching. I was watching your YouTube channel, Dan, and I was watching you mind map in French, and I was like, "This is." It was like an outer body experience. It was really ethereal.
I don't know which one you looked at, but my last mind map was to explain how does Ella keeps coming back in the metagame. And the last part of it is like, so the meta develops, and at some point flexible decks are around. Ella just comes in and is like, I'm gonna all kick your asses, and that was the mind map.
Yep.
Alright. This is just an alternate good cards deck with the discard package. This one was the more popular after the UK. It's doing pretty well, but it's kind of worse than the one above. Low-key bounce. So, Loki has a ton of decks right now, but decks that work really well were hybrid. You have this bounce one, you have this control one. I was talking about the Miss Marvel Professor X connection. Here it is. I mean, we're in a metagame where you want to play good standalone cards. Loki's basically, I have 6 cards and 6 slots for good standalone cards. Hit me. That's kind of what it is doing. Sure, you stuff your deck with like just these are just I think best cards right now. Like we have White Widow, Jeff, Nocturne, Miss Marvel, Professor X, Cannonball. Take any of them and you're happy to play them. And the bounce one is synergistic approach. But what I like, I would have liked to see Sasquatch in there, to be honest. But what I like about this one, that at least for ranked, it's much sneaky.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would probably remove Moria Hill and have Sasquatch. And probably remove Iceman. I'll actually
I've been really liking your I was playing the bounce deck that you posted back, I guess when Sasquatch came out, and I've been playing that for a while, and I really love the Valkyrie werewolf play now. I mean, it's so now that werewolf comes down on 3 with Valkyrie, it's even so much better.
I don't know. I regret 4/4. I had no problem with it. Black Swan on turn 3 and have fun. Took it away from me. Alright, any questions on Loki? Basically, it's a really good shell that's super flexible. Exactly what you want in a very diverse metagame. And at the same time, it is able to not just include 1 or 2 cards. You can take entire ideas, get them into Loki. Bounce idea, control idea. What would be a diverse metagame if it wasn't for a deck that didn't care about anyone else? That deck is Tribunal. I'm actually really happy to see it because I like the Phoenix. I really like this one in the past. This is honestly the deck for that is lost on metagame. You don't know what to play. You don't know how to adapt. You don't know what your opponent is doing. Play this. People that play Professor X are gonna snap you like, ahaha, counter your Phoenix. You're gonna Tribunal them. They're gonna cry. That's gonna be a lot of fun. That's all it is. This deck is the literal definition of I don't care who you are. I got a game plan, and that's the only thing. And I think it's good that there are those as well. It's very rare that the Marvel Snap game has this big of a range of decks, because usually flexible decks, they just adapt, make these decks disappear. But the thing is, right now there's so much density in the amount of good cards that you have to make choices, and nobody's making the same choices, which means there are holes for any kind of deck to exploit. Any questions on this one? I'm just saving some.
I mean, it's interesting to imagine Magic decks thriving when there's this much Nocturne around. But
the thing is,
yeah,
Nocturne tells you.
Yeah.
You can adapt. But yeah. Ella Corvus. Do I need to talk about Ella Corvus? Or we don't?
No.
This is
Hey, it looks
a
just
different list.
It's got Black
Let's
Knight.
see. Oh yeah, they put Scar in it. Yeah, I'm glad to see Black Cat drop from this. I was saying before the recording, my personal fave is to put Kyra in there to block Cannonball plays, but I'm very glad to see Black Cat not in there anymore.
Well, this is very much you can Ella on 5, so you like ideally, if you go Black Knight, play the Blade with Corvus, play the Blade, play Ella, and you just have a cheap Corvus, a cheap Scar plus like Billy or Link, kind of bunker. Right, Ella Tribunal. Why not? I mean, Ella, we've seen Tribunal, a mix of both. Just well, and last, Pixie Jump. This one is very interesting, not because of the deck, but because of the win rate of it. So, in this report, we've had only 3 decks above 60 win rate, and fourth one was Good Cards Blink at 9.5. If I go back to the chart, 2 decks broke the 60 barrier, or these 2. The third one is this one. What the hell happened here? Like, how does this deck has a lower cube average than all those decks when, like, against half of them it has at least 4% win rate more? Like, to give some perspective, Ella Tribunal had 49% win rate, which is 11% less than Junk, and he had a better cube average.
Is Pixie just hard to snap into?
I think the problem is I tried to explain it. Unfortunately, I couldn't reach out to everyone that played Junk to ask them how they were playing, but I can see different reasons. Number one is the snaps are really bad. Like, people are actually losing when they snap, which is possible. I mean, Sentry and Nihilus, if you snap and you don't have priority in this metagame, it's gonna hurt. Number two, maybe you're snapping too. Junk is notorious for locking the opponent out of possibilities. If you snap too late, your opponent knows they're about to be out of possibilities, they're just gonna retreat. High win rate, low cube rate. And the last possible option is the deck is too spot, and so when it snaps, leave, but when it doesn't snap, it gets snapped against. Because you have high win rate, you convince yourself that staying is. These are the different ways I could see it, but honestly, deck with one of the highest win this low in the average category is very, very weird.
Yeah, I buy the idea that it's either people snapping too late or being a little uncertain about how it's playing and not being aggressive enough on the snaps. It seems like it's doing better than the pilots think it is. I don't know. It's very interesting.
This is another mystery of this metagame. Then we go into tier, and tier 3 or just the gimmick decks. Play or stick ones. Destroy, ongoing, Patriot, bounce. So we've been talking a lot about flexibility. Decks, they have like flexibility in how they can run their sim. They don't really have flexibility in how they create. They always create way. And this metagame, it can be difficult because mostly a lot of these decks are really. It's also possible.
You know, it's fascinating. Before the Sasquatch release, everyone was of the opinion, or at least I should say, a lot of people were of the opinion bounce was about to come back. People should be practicing their bounce skills, and to just see it at the very, very bottom of the tier list is an interesting thing.
Well, it's that bounce. Like we've seen Loki bounce was better, and we've seen Sasquatch,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I've been trying to play bounce in and honestly, it's annoying to play. Like you have to be so focused. You have to think about a million things. You have to guess Professor X's. Like it just doesn't feel worth it.
I've been having a good time with it, but I think it might be. I mean, I'm at the like 16,000 mark. I played Conquest last week, and I'm doing like I'm just on ladder a little bit, and so I wonder if I'm just at such a low MMR right now, like or that I'm just picking up all these random decks, or I'm just not picking up. I'm picking up people who don't do well against balance because I've been having a lot of easy matches.
Hmm.
I dropped like 3,000 points over the course of like like 8 games over last night and this morning, something like that.
Yeah.
All right, that was the entire tier list. So, what we're going today? Possibilities. We can test a lot of decks from the tier list, but I guess you can do that on your own. Thing I wanted to do was talk about what is a card game winning. The idea is you need to test ideas. You want to find a way, as they break the metagame. Please don't use that term.
Yeah.
We need to test things. The problem is the metagame is so diverse. How do we really test? Like, how do we know if something works, something doesn't work? And so it might be weird, but actually, back to like the very bottom of how testing. And to test an idea, we need to just focus on the core of the idea. So basically, here how's a deck how a deck is made. We'll know it already. This. Right now, we're in a metagame where flex cards are really good. And we have lots of them. So we can't really say we're gonna make a difference on the flex. Everyone has amazing flex. Nocturne, Red Guardian, Mobius, Jeff, White Widow, Red US Agent. I mean, we go back to Silver Surfer, the deck is basically let's put all the best 3-cost flex cards in the game and make a deck out of it. Oh my god, it works. Like, I mean, apart from Sebastian Shaw, like these three, they're the Surfer ones. This is flex, this is flex, this is flex, this is flex, and this is flex. There's more flex 3-cost than actual Torque 3-cost in there. So we can't really. we're gonna use flex card. Like, we can't say we're gonna take an idea that exists and improve, because it's impossible to, like, we changed its strength and weaknesses. Okay, we might have improved it in the current environment, but when they're like 50 decks, are you just getting lucky hitting the ones your flex cards are built for, or do you actually crack some sort of code and you manage to pick out some decks that you didn't?
Or is it usually just when there's very few dominant decks? They are very good at blocking certain play lines, and in a environment this wide open, even like sloppy deck design or just random deck design can thrive because you aren't hitting the counters as much. It's hard to tell if you've, yeah, like you're saying, if you've actually solved something or if it's just an everything goes melee environment.
So, same thing for tech cards. There are too many decks. I mean, we could take that route. We could say, all right, let's play Cosmo, Echo, I don't know what else. Whenever our opponent is weak to it, we snap. Otherwise, we just... And we're just hoping that opponents don't retreat when we snap, and that we hit enough of our targets. But, I mean, go to the list. Is there really a tech card that covers at least half of those? I mean, Cosmo is good. Like
Sand.
But
Sandman, I feel.
Okay, Sandman covers
It
what?
do less well on the Hela.
How does
Yeah.
So how does Sandman covers Cannonball? How
Well,
does
so first
Sandman
of all, like you
cover Odin? Might cover something. Okay, they want to play Scar plus something. Here, okay. Here it wouldn't. Here it wouldn't. Here it would. Well, I guess if they low-key turn 4, it wouldn't because they have your deck. Cannonball on 6. Tribunal doesn't care. That doesn't care. Tribunal doesn't care. Red Hulk doesn't care too much. I mean, even the flexible decks, because there's so many cannonballs. I mean, Cannonball on 6 isn't... We could try Electro Web. I'm not against it. We could try a Sandman deck. But to say that there's like one tech card that solves the metagame feels optimistic.
Oh yeah. It was a weaker claim than that. I'm just trying to look for, is there like a broad tech card that could help with, say, half the meta? That already seems in this environment like decent, especially if you slot it into not like Electro Ramp, but like an unexpected playline.
Well, they're here.
Throw it into any other deck.
That's like the Red Guardians. That's the Mobius. That's the Cannonball. That's the White Widows. That's the US Agents. The cards that are just saying, let's take a huge category of the game and just say, YOLO. Like, we're not going to cancel these cards entirely, but we're going to be decent against them. And if we're decent enough, we'll win games.
So maybe a way to put that is that the tech right now is very proactive in point building.
Yeah.
So maybe there's not like a lot of environment for counter tech cards, the traditional kind of tech card. I see.
Exactly, which means you have to work on the core cards. What we have to find is the core that makes the most sense. Because then, flex cards and tech cards come afterward. So we can always pick the best flex cards and we can always adapt it. But here, there are a ton of different cores. And the question we could ask is, are all these cores as good as each other? Or are some weaker cores being carried by the really good flex card? And if we can establish certain ones, at least we know that when we play with the same flex cards, we have a better core, so we're better than them. The problem comes in is that core cards are actually the hardest one to test. Because when you test a flex card, it comes into an environment that you know. So you know how to play the deck, You just change a tiny bit of it, and you're like, all right, you're here to help me draw. You're here to help me manage locations. But you don't change the fundamentals. Same for a tech card. Like, if you see that opponent, bite them. But you still play your deck the same. When we start touching core cards, we start touching the fundamentals of the deck. We start touching the play patterns. We start touching the balance. We start touching how we build an entire game over 6 turns. So, we can do it 2 ways. We can either work on existing cores, or start from, like, I don't know, for example, the control deck, which has no core at this point with cards. We could start with, like, the Loki core, for example, which has, like, multiple hybrids, test things in there. Or we can take much more rigid cores, such as, like, Ella or on reveal. See which parts can be touched, which parts are untouchable. Is the core actually good, or are actually flexible cards winning us the game? Let's say we played, and we notice that actually, I don't know, I'm gonna say some random number, but 4 out of 10 games, we win them with Echo and Rogue. Oh, maybe it's not on reveal. It's just Echo and Rogue that we should play in other decks. That's what I want us to work on tonight. I saved a couple of decks while we're talking. I'll personally work on one of those, but
is Snap getting into a problem where, like, because of the limitations of, like, the 12 card deck, that, you know, there's just too many good cards, there's too many 2 or 3 card synergies that you can slot around, that we're just trading back and forth now? I mean, is this something they're gonna have to do something to shake up the entire play archetype? For instance, like Hearthstone did, where they rotated cards out, or the they did some things that would, like, when the heroes came in and they expanded the number of cards you could play, or gave you something else entirely to focus your whole gameplay on, like the quests and stuff like that. You know, is that where we're getting to?
I don't know, because I don't think they pushed more synergy. On the contrary, they pushed really good cards you can play in a ton of decks.
Right.
Yeah,
So then are we just playing flex cards?
I don't know. I think, this last week might be an odd test because we had a combination of probably the most powerful combo in the game right now, the Cannonball Prof X, wasn't touched by any recent nerfs, combined with Sasquatch fell a little bit flat. And I think it's just kind of left people a little bit, like, either confused about what to play, or they're all tired of playing the lockdown strategy and are just innovating, or just trying to see what they can do. Yeah, so it feels like a loose week. I don't really feel like, something has happened to the game to make it loose.
I mean, I think it's been a lot of fun. It's been a fun,
Oh, heck yeah.
I mean, and I miss that I can't play like I mean, it's hard to, like, to see in this meta, like, a good move deck coming back. They just seem to get pummeled points wise, right? All the mid range decks just suffer to the point spreads.
Not all of them.
So
I mean, like Surfer's back. Yeah.
yeah, I guess that's, like,
I don't,
I don't know. Is Surfer still mid range? Gosh, I don't know. It's
oh, that's a good
Wait, we
point.
need
guess
Like,
it
just
is.
power creep. Yeah.
we need.
I don't know. Move control could be kind of fun. Like, if we're doing a whole lot of lockdown. Um, God, when was the last time I saw Polaris around? Right? Like, just it'd be interesting to see what you could get away with.
Yeah.
All right, so I picked 4 decks just for the sake of it. Control list for the Loki, proactive, or flexible. Phoenix Tribunal is literally the I do not give a damn about in front of me, and Ella is snap, disciplined.
Mm-hmm.
I'll play the first games. You guys will have a lot to say. So, who wants to work on which deck? I'll mostly.
So the key is to see if the core is doing the work for us, not the flex. That's what we're testing here.
Yes, the idea is just we're going into a roulette of decks, playing different things, and trying to understand where, like, what is the deck doing well, and what are just cards that we could have thrown in another deck, mostly.
Mm-hmm.
All
right.
You're curious in either the Loki deck or the Tribunal. Oh, not the Tribunal, the Phoenix deck.
I could
Alright, so
do.
Bishop.
Yeah.
I can do
Go ahead.
Loki. I've been playing a lot of that recently. I played the Loki counter deck for a while. Did okay.
I mean, we can also just roulette and everyone gets to.
Everyone do.
Alright, well, I'll
I was
just.
gonna say
Go
yeah.
ahead.
I've been playing, Hella the last couple days, but it's interesting because it uses so few of the flex cards right now. That it's interesting to see how to fit it into the assignment. I mean, aside from Jubilee Blink, I'm not really sure.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, this is
Yeah.
why we want big diversity decks, because some decks, like for example, the Tribunal deck doesn't have flex. Like I don't need flex.
Mm-hmm.
Flex cards cost
I
me
see.
points. I don't want.
I see. So let's consider it like a control, not like control deck, but like, a experimental control.
All right, who am I the hand for? The real pilot.
Those are the Thor control deck.
Bishop, you were doing the control, right?
I was gonna do the Loki one, the Loki deck or the
You can do more. Like you can do more than one.
Okay, that's fine. I guess we're on turn 2, so I guess it's probably Jeff Center. Huh. So
Oh yeah, this one.
Mysterio plus X23. So
That sounds like Mockingbird Def Junk.
yeah, I didn't know they were running 23. I guess it's
What?
Mobius, but it might be too late.
Well, if you'd rather give them an energy.
No, I said Mobius.
Yeah, I know, but you also said it might be too late.
Yeah, I know. So it's either I mean, so I guess Mobius. I guess it doesn't matter. Maybe Mobius, right?
Well, it matters. I really don't want to play. That's the only.
You okay? So not left. So right is fine.
Because left, they might be playing a card that's called Death Strike, and I don't want them to kill their X-23 and my Mobius.
Oh, so it's junk. Okay,
Jeff Junk.
Jeff Junk.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, do we want to
Oh,
Killmonger
Jeff
all
is.
of this before they can Carnage it?
I guess Killmonger and Spider Ham. I mean, maybe in that order, because you're already killed their death if they're running death. So
Yeah, Death and
Killmonger.
Mockingbird are.
So Killmonger left, Spider Ham right.
Want to just.
That's nice.
Hey, we
That's a
didn't have
good
the
hit.
Carnage.
Are we snapping?
Let's see where we turn 5. We have Thor can't go left. So you have Shadow King could go right. So you could Shadow King. I don't know. Thor center, Shadow King left. I mean, trying to set up the Marvel, but we don't have a lot of great stuff to go. Is it just
I
Lady
would
Foster left right now?
I would just
Middle not left to set up the Miss Marvel.
a Shadow King.
Okay,
Well, we
so
could do
Foster
it here, but I feel like if I play it metal, I guarantee myself to be very competitive in metal.
middle, and
Then I
then
can use
surprise on the
Shadow
left.
King to right or balance. If I do this, I kind of abandon metal.
Okay, I see. That's why Thor center then. We got nothing else. Like, I
Fine with
mean,
this.
Lady Thor center.
And these exercises where we change decks and on game fundamentals, like what we've been talking about for a month. Prioritize the information. Know what is important. Know what you can. Oh no.
See. So Marvel, let's see. Marvel Center Quake right doesn't do much good. So Marvel Center, and then Shadow King onto the Carnage Demon. Does that is
Yeah.
that enough?
Go
No, I
to
guess I guess
five. Why we go to
I've
10? They
and, and the demon would be a 8 and the Carnage would be a 2. Yeah. So I guess yeah, I don't know. I mean, trying to think like I'm trying to see
Why
if
not?
you move the Lake Helios if you gain more points that way.
Why
Um
not just Quake on the left and
yeah,
want to move. We want it
and Jeff has to come right. Yeah, I mean, where you want to do that first
like
and
this.
then quick, yeah, and then see where we go. I think that's gonna
You have
get you the most
11.
possibility.
Oh,
Oh, there you go.
piloting course. But see, it's really weird. Like
Intimidation.
we played a control where we mostly have been proactive.
yeah.
That's
I mean,
kind
at
of
the
what
end,
I
we're
want
just
to
trying to
do.
figure out how to maximize points. Yeah.
Don't let the deck let situation game like this is where we have to be flexible how we play because the current metagame doesn't give us pointers. There's not a thing that is like, hey, do this, that thing you can. And also, I only picked your 2 decks because
Well, that's nice.
hey, we un
Amazing.
Spider Ham left.
Spider Ham. Why left?
Just because I like to because I don't know what I'm doing next at one point, and if I want to pull the cards back in, Beast, it's still safe.
Hello, Ju-
Oh, good shot. Ravona.
Ravona.
We took
Oh,
out
good shot.
Ravona.
Yeah. Nice job, Bishop.
You're
Like I know
welcome.
what we're gonna
So Nico Snowguard.
place because otherwise I'm just.
So Nico, I would go Nico left, Snowguard right.
I don't think we're gonna have enough.
I guess we could pick. I mean, you'll be at 4. So if you play down 5, you'll be 4. You only get 3 back, right? You won't get it all back. The Beast.
I don't care if I get back to be honest.
Yeah. Okay. I would
Like
have
the
gone
thing
into
is,
the
I'm willing to test it. Worst case, I don't get Snowguard back, and I don't.
I would have played into the non-revealed. That's all.
Well,
But
there's the
I guess
I
you have.
think
Sunspark,
I
but
might
I'm
have
not
played
really,
it.
not really beating.
Yeah, I'm wondering if we should have done Snow Guard then Nico to set up whatever, like boost whatever we're about to drop here.
Well, we're about to drop
Well, if
Werewolf,
Snowguard
and I'm
stays
not
on
sure he
board,
needs the boost.
yeah, if Snowguard stays on board, you want it to be the highest card, right? I think in this card. So Werewolf, I don't know, Werewolf, I don't care.
Oh,
Center,
Okay,
right?
I would play it right because
Yeah,
if they give me the right, I'm really happy to. I already heard the beast.
yeah.
So why wouldn't you beast right now and then drop werewolf with a bunch of 1 costs or 0 costs? I mean,
because it's more energy.
next turn.
Oh,
Okay.
nice. So Beast left, Rocket Raccoon. Oh, gosh, who knows?
We don't have to play.
For the most,
Next turn we could go
I guess.
Rocket Loki.
Yeah, I guess that's fine.
Draw. Like
Yeah,
right now we pick them all up, but we don't draw next turn. We're gonna Loki. Do we?
yeah, that's true. We don't need the draw. In fact, you want cards frozen. Okay, so just
Oh,
Mr. Negative. Turn 5. We can beat him.
Loki's.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm not sure I would Loki.
but I mean, you have lots of points, and you can shut down. You could trigger the Snow Guard again. It's trigger the Wakanda Embassy again, but there won't be much in your hand.
I think I actually want to. Wait, this deck isn't playing Quinjet.
Yeah. Gosh, there's so many. This is where it gets tough.
We got to do something because it's gonna move.
Yeah. So I guess it's going to be Nico into Nico. Nico, is it 2 times to the card? So Nico right. I guess it's Spider Heron left, and
You,
then
you
Rocket
don't want to
center.
drop Snow Guard before you Loki?
Snow Guard
Oh,
as
you're
well.
not Lokiing.
Yeah.
I
And
see.
then Rocket, I guess right. Hopefully to the right side. Are you gonna Loki this one? And still Loki?
Oh, I have no idea what I was doing. I just got.
Wait. I think you just dropped 2 on the werewolf lane, but
No, the
yeah,
werewolf will move because it's gonna go right.
I see. Okay.
Onslaught.
Oh,
Oh, that's
nice.
good hit. Okay, good.
Oh, we can do
Oh,
Tribunal
not bad.
combo. Final turn.
Yeah, that was 5, right? So kind of like, what do they
Mm,
have left? What do they got left to pull? They've done the Jubilee into the.
Well, they drew cards, so they can have Mr. Negative, they can have Marvel, they can have a Tribunal, which would be.
So I mean, I guess do you leave the werewolf there and just Blue Marvel, like collector Blue Marvel? I don't see
why not just
how many.
Tribunal on the right?
Yeah, you want the right side, yeah. So
Like, yeah,
it's the most, I think.
I mean, you don't want to play anything in the middle, just take 5 away.
Wait,
Yeah, and you don't want to
Do you
move
want
the
to
werewolf.
reverse the sides just because Blue Marvel's a slight bit higher? No, I see. It's going to be equal
It
with the
works out
collector
the
there.
same, right?
It's
Collector's the same. Yeah.
Hey, we're
There we go.
All right.
all right. Bishop piloted headache now.
Wow. So we got
Lightning.
1 cube on both of those. It's interesting that they're not even willing to go for the second cube to play it out.
Yeah, the meta is very careful right now. All right, these were the flexible, non-flexible.
Okay, I can do those. Can you give me the deck list real quick?
This is the Tribunal.
Oh, it's just from the tier list, right?
Yeah, but otherwise it's Torch, Magic,
Oh, I got it. Okay.
Cosmo, Venom, Phoenix, Iron Man, Onslaught, Tribunal.
Excellent. Yep. All right, we're gonna skip this one. No. Skip.
I would snap.
Oh, that's fun.
What do we do?
I want
Ace
to
back.
drop multiple men on the middle and snap.
Ah. Oh.
Oh, okay.
They know we have it.
Well, yeah. Let's see. Oh, this is great for us. Okay. So I think we want to Carnage middle. Well, I'm just debating. Do we want to drop the Human Torch first? No, we want the multiple man for Mojo World.
I don't want human.
Yeah, that's what I want to. Like with Mojo World, I want multiple man to be forced for sure. So, yep, I like it.
Oh no, have more prior than we.
Okay, what are they running? We don't have enough yet. Let's see. Let's see. Where's our? We're not getting the dual drones right now. Okay, I'm just looking at our list. So look, we could obviously Phoenix Force on the right, or we could let's see, what do we draw? Yeah, let's Phoenix Force on the right. Because we're gonna move it next turn and we start filling up Mojo World that way. But I guess it'll work either way. Oh.
I guess you.
Well, it's not the worst, but it would be upsetting.
That...
Oh,
he
what is happening?
disappeared. Oh, he's back.
Okay.
At the end, tell them you should.
Yeah, I guess let's tell them to leave now.
Okay, what
So
am I doing
what's in
now?
our deck left?
Aha! They left.
Well, nothing. Yep, exactly.
All right. For now,
What
we
we're
learned
learning.
that people are super careful. A lot of 1 cube.
Yeah.
The way
Literally
you're
any
going,
deck
we
can
should play
get 1
Pixie.
cube.
We should play Pixie.
Oh my god. No, because we've already got the guaranteed wins. What we need is the cube average. Okay,
Problem
now
is
you're
we will
doing the
have
Hella
done
Corvus.
1 round of decks, so obviously this should be done over like multiple dozens of games, but sessions showing like protocols, actual possibility of 100 games.
Mm-hmm.
So far, we have learned that people are very careful. I mean, it's the end of the season.
That must be it. All right, we're gonna do nothing.
Right on. Because they're doing nothing but.
That's right. We're doing nothing faster.
Exactly.
All right, so 40% chance we lose our Hella, but I still feel good about that. I say we should Corvus. The only question is middle or left. I say left.
Aha!
All right.
Ooh.
Oh, interesting. So, oh, that's perfect. Do we snap this and then Jubilee on the right?
You're gonna Jubilee on the right? Wow. Okay.
Why?
I would Lacy the Death and Ella on 5.
Let's see. What else do we have coming here? Yeah, I mean we've got some big cards that could come out. But yeah, all right, I can be persuaded to sit, but I do want to snap.
Where do I Sif?
Thanks. On
F is at the
the
party.
left then. Yeah, on the left. All right, can you show me what you've discarded again?
go infinite. It's kind of why I like the Ella on
Infinite
5.
Okay, I wanna Hela on the right, just in case this is a Galactus deck.
I would be very surprised that Galactus played Venom. That we would be open-minded.
Mm-hmm.
And you said you didn't know why they were playing Scar. This is why.
I didn't say I didn't know that why they were playing Scar. I'm just pleased that they're not playing Black Cat.
Oh yeah. Right though.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's see. We've got some good options. Either we could Scar
Our
on the
deck,
left.
just so you know, our deck is
Yeah.
Black Knight, Blade, something about
Blink.
and Blink.
And the last thing we played was Hela, so that's useless to us. All right, look, we don't have to overcomplicate this. We can Giganto on the left, and we can Scar on the right. Or the center. Like, I don't think it super matters. But yeah, let's put it on the right. Yep.
Right. What we learned out of this first round is it's snap early.
Yeah, right?
This metagame, apparently, a lot about at the right time. Alright, do we want another round?
We've also learned that, yeah. This is
Adam
going to
is
joke. We've also learned that Hela is twice as strong as every other deck.
How do Mr. Judai want to play? Alright, do we want to reverse then? Flexible deck and not flexible.
Sure,
Okay.
sure. So we're starting with which one? Control? That's the hammer control? Okay, cool.
Oh! Oh! Hot one!
Let's do... Sorry, what was it? Oh my god!
Thanos!
Well, hello, Thanos. Okay, let's do our usual turn one move.
I actually have Fireham in this.
Mm.
They have 4 cards
Let's
in hand.
see. 4 cards in hand. Geez, I kind of don't like our options. I'm a little bit tempted to Maximus right.
Why do you want to
It's
give
interesting.
Thanos cards? Bigger problem is stability.
Just because I'm not really sure what to do otherwise.
I would throw Quake.
Okay. Yeah.
I would honestly.
I mean, our big advantage right now, sounds good, is that they can't play their cards on the middle column.
Oh, they can play their stuff. Okay,
Yeah.
so he might be Thanos ongoing? Or armor?
I'm not 100% sure right now. Okay, well, I say let's drop Thor on the left, probably.
Wanna go contest?
Yeah.
Right. Fight. Fight. Oh, sword. Okay, we want a good one and they have a bad one. That's the play.
I like it.
Got a bad one. Got a medium bad one. We got an
I
angel
don't
with
know,
an
it depends.
ability.
Oh my goodness. Oh. Okay, so I think, is it worth killmongering now? They can drop their Mockingbird if they want to. Let's
I don't even
see.
know if they're playing it. Probably.
Well, the other option is what's their hand size right now?
Their or ours?
Theirs. Yeah. All right. So yeah, we could Killmonger. I think we don't need to play the hammer yet, or we could Maximus Jeff. I'd say let's Killmonger on the I don't know, right.
Want prio?
I mean, or we could be waiting for the
No, it's
purple
more
stone,
like
but I think this is
you're
fine.
balancing your points. Like, you wanted to grab priority. Or is gonna have a lot of work.
Yep. Okay. They are at. Oh, sorry. Can you do that again? Yep. Okay. Well, I think we're looking at Jane, but then do we want to keep them nervous and keep going for the left, or do we want to drop it somewhere else? I'd say we've got to win more than one lane. Maybe we drop Jane. Let's see, on the middle.
Middle and right.
Mm-hmm.
Question is, take it. They haven't played Yellows. Thanos is.
Yeah. Let's see. If we red Guardian on the left, there's a chance for a steal. Yeah. So then, what else would we need to do? Okay. And we still have. Yeah. Let's do that. Now the question is, are they going to move their cull or something like that?
Oh.
Oh, interesting. Okay. So where else do we want to try to play? Honestly, maybe I want to drop Mjolnir and Maximus on the right.
Balance.
I don't know what. How does that sound? Yeah, I just don't know if they're gonna move. Yeah, I don't know. It's risky, but let's try it for 4 points. Oh, wait.
Blob. Yeah, I was wondering Shadow
Mm,
King for Blob.
mm. Ah, I'm sorry. It's
I,
annoying that if we drop that, yeah,
I would have.
that was very
I would have
winnable.
played because the thing is that could moved on their side. So, well, they could have moved to the. But they had.
Yeah.
So unless they
Hmm.
played there, we're not gonna win. They moved Jeff and abandoned it. On the other
Hmm.
hand, the other two lanes were at risk because
Yeah, I fell for the classic move bluff, which is you drop a move card and then don't move. I was convinced that Null was going to move, or a Cull. I mean, oh,
well, if Cole moved to the how do you like they move Cole to the up to the right?
yeah, I didn't see the blob. Yeah,
Well, that's the thing. Kind of metagames, ton of diversity, not focus on opponents. Have enough.
yeah. No, left is just better. Yep, yep.
This is why we're doing it on my account, so they're right of.
Oh, see, it's more nerve-wracking to do it on somebody else's account.
Hi.
Okay. Oh, this is interesting. I'm just looking at the. Oh, because I'm very polite. But let's see. Do we want to wait, or do we want to start telling them Wait, no, we've got Atalan. So I'd say that we should drop our U.S. agent. The question is where? Maybe, I don't know, left or right? Yeah. Yeah. Interesting.
I don't know. Oh, they're just. Hey, we were right.
Okay. All right. So we could spider ham right, or we could spider ham anywhere else and then falcon right, or maybe we just don't need the energy.
What's the difference? In both cases, you're gonna Loki that card. Agents, you just showed them to.
Yeah. All right. Well, I could be persuaded to just spider ham then.
Oh, that's good.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, we can.
Yeah. Okay, so we could snow guard falcon. Let's see. If we do that, snow guard falcon, so we're gonna have back up to 5 cards.
Focus on what you.
Well, then I want to drop snow guard, and then the question is, do we also drop Sasquatch?
Stop asking yourself questions. What do you want to do?
Okay, I want to snow guard. I want to falcon on the right.
I'm just gonna drop Loki. I want the hand that's cheap.
Okay.
Why do you want to get Falcon? To get Snowguard back so you could play it next turn for Loki?
Well, I was also gonna then drop what was it? US agent.
Drop US.
Let's
Come
see.
back with Falcon.
No, but he can affect the points on the right.
What?
Let's see. All right, so we've got an Angela middle, maybe. What else do we got? That's on the demon right now. Yeah, I want to drop Cable. Let's see, maybe, or maybe we could just do Mobius and Agent Coulson on the Angela.
It's a Loki deck.
I bet.
I want to play Mobius.
Yeah.
Then the choice is Coulson or Cable, and Cable lets me Nico, which.
I like it.
Once again, focus on doing what the game asks you. Win games.
Mm-hmm.
Want to develop points, play cards. Simple.
Yeah, I'm just not totally sure where our points were coming from. So I was hoping for Coulson to get just bigger cards going. But what can we do?
I was hoping for Cable to help on that regard, to be honest.
Yeah. I don't know. Cabling, yeah. So look, we have to try to contest the right, I guess.
How?
Do we just Coulson and Rogue? I'm sorry, the left. I'm in the left. Do we Coulson and Rogue on the left?
That'll reach.
So we're only going to be 5 points ahead, and that's before they drop anything that could collect. It's I don't know. I'm not super confident about this. I think retreating, yeah. Yeah, I think if we dropped US agent on the right, we would have had, or sorry, not US agent, the Red Guardian I meant, on the right. So that would give them a 6, and we would have been up 1 on the right.
Okay, we're gonna do.
Yeah.
And instead of focus on right.
Mm.
The metagame is diverse. Look for every problem. There are a million of little problems. Your goal isn't to avoid them. Your goal is to step on them.
I agree. I was just trying to eke out points. Like, we both had one round to play on the right side. Let's try to. Okay. Let me see. Okay. Spider Ham. I guess middle, or maybe right.
We're gonna come back, don't we? Left because
Yeah.
unless we want to change left. Not really.
I think yeah. Yeah, we can decide later because we're gonna have 2-1 costs. So if we want to change it. Oh, what was that? Oh, that's pretty nice.
I love.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say if we don't know why Rocket's on the in the hand, we could just Nico on the I don't know.
Matter?
Yeah, it's gonna come back. So might as well let's Nico on the left and Rocket. I don't know, middle.
Why not Rocket first and then Nico? That way you could get
die.
Yeah,
no, but you could
I don't want to kill any of the other things.
You don't want to kill a Falcon on turn 3?
I want to play Werewolf on turn
3.
What did
You're not gonna be able to move Werewolf for a long time. That's the point.
And here.
I'm just saying because
Spider-Ham.
You're not gonna be able to move Werewolf for like a couple turns, so it's gonna be.
No.
What do you mean?
I want a werewolf.
Left and mid.
Let's werewolf. Let's say it's. Let's see. We're not going to win that one, but we could center werewolf, snow guard, right. Oh wait, no, hold on. Stop. We could just have squash middle.
And Sasquatch cost even.
Okay, so then I want to go back to werewolf on the right, snow guard or middle, snow guard right, and then falcon middle.
Now, Judah, what you say? Everyone's talking at the.
No, I was just saying that Werewolf isn't going to move that much just because of the locations that they gave us. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, but we're playing it on. As long as we could play on this one, and with our hand, because we knew Falcon, we could at least get it like once or twice, and that was like a 3-7 or 9 here.
Okay, I wanna. Let's see. How about if we? It's interesting. We could Sasquatch right, and we could Snowhawk to be able to play in the middle again. So why don't we Sasquatch and Snowhawk? That's true. Let's see. Yeah, I feel well. Yeah, we might want to because we're still not going to have. We want that Widow's Kiss to go right. So yeah, let's Sasquatch. Yeah, that's fine on the middle. I also want to. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Oh, okay.
We're out of time eventually. This is why I'm saying stop listing all the possible. Go to I want.
Yeah.
Start with
yeah.
what
I was
you
going to
want.
say Sasquatch.
It's possible.
Mm-hmm.
Once you know if it's possible.
Okay.
And we can still hawk to play something. Exactly what.
Yeah. It's gonna be a 6 anyways, right? You could even so you could because of the Nico was the last card you played.
Yeah. So let's play that card.
You don't want to put the rock in the center?
Because otherwise I can't.
How?
Oh, I see. I'm sorry. I thought you play. Oh, you play. I got them backwards. That's all. I saw.
That's the thing. Because like I feel like everyone has problems. Judai is focused on the location annoying us when we have Snowguard in our hand. Silvermint is what the opponent is doing when we're just trying to develop points.
You didn't have Snow Guy at the time.
No,
so
no,
I was
I'm actually
okay.
trying to play proactively, but yeah. Let's see. This is tricky. I think we're not going to win the center with what we have. There's a question if we want Werewolf to move at all. I'm not sure we do. So yeah, I was going to put. This is what I was going to say. Yeah. So I think that means Beast first on the left, and then just drop everything else. But is that a lot of points? I don't know.
They play him.
Yeah, it's worth a try for 1 cube. Yeah.
I guess the one thing that we learned the most is play till the end. Everyone.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, they assumed you had something big for the center, right?
It's a solid bluff.
Was a bluff.
Well, we're trying to tell them it's a 50-50. It wasn't actually a 50-50.
But we're not trying to tell them anything. Trying to see if a deck feels good. Like, how could I explain this? I feel like you're trying to score already. Like you're trying to win games. I'm just trying to play a deck and feel. Like the goal right now is we have an environment with 50 decks, and there has to be some rankings. So we can either believe the rankings that the stats give us, and like everyone else, which is play Ravonna Lockdown or the decks, or we can try to see if we can shake things up, which is why we picked the deck in T2. See if those can be differently, etc. But the first step doing this is just seeing if the deck has gas.
I would say then Loki Bounce has some cons in this environment. One, there's just a lot of big point proactive decks out there. This one, unless it really gets its combos goings, starts with very small points, but also it has fewer decision point, or sorry, way more decision points than a lot of other decks. So this feels like it's requiring a lot of work for maybe smaller gains.
I mean, to be honest, we get our points scored one.
Yeah.
No, that's also true.
I don't know, I like the deck. It looks fun.
I mean, to me, Rocket.
I guess with the bounce deck, right? He's a one. He could be a what a 1/9? 1/9.
And if you land it right both
Bigger
times.
than that.
Oh,
Can
with
be
the
a
Falcon, yeah.
1/9.
Or more with Nico. Yeah. I guess that's the. If I can squeeze into, I like to get Iron Man into a bounce deck if possible. I like Ghost Spider in a bounce deck. Ghost Spider with Sasquatch might be good.
Honestly, the Hood.
Was that?
My question is why?
Electra
because,
might be good too.
Naming cards is a thing. The question is, what's the reasoning behind it?
Well, I like Iron Man and Ghost Spider because you can play the Iron Man on 5 and then move it on 6, which is kind of nice. I've had the bounce deck that you were playing has Electra in it, and that has been really nice as well as a 1-drop. It takes out the what do you call it? The Black Knight decks. It can take out other, like a raccoon, for instance. I've enjoyed that one as well. If I was looking for a 1-drop. Of course, then you could just go with Hood,
Well, the thing is,
which is also
you
a solid.
have a lot of little things you have to use up for space and want to play. Or is the idea
Well, I
with
mean,
Hood is that we play Hood, then we pick it back up, and we low key the Hood in our hand?
Yeah.
so you can do that, right? Hood balances with Collector, right? Because it feeds Collector and it feeds
Right.
Collector, it feeds locally, and you have like two ways to remove it. But
How do I have?
Falcon and
Falcon and
Beast.
Beast.
Oh, from the board. Okay, I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, you have a third way. You have Nico.
Yeah, Nico as well. You can destroy it.
That's
Right.
something I don't mind destroying for cards.
I guess we're on
Yeah,
low
for
key
sure.
bounce then. What low key bounce can do?
Who's playing?
Whoever wants to. The hand
Okay.
that sometimes talks.
Oh, then okay. Spider-Ham left.
Why Spider-Ham?
Because I don't know what they're playing and gives me the most information right off the bat, and I have Falcon in hand anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
I mean, if you Hood now, you can Spider-Ham and Hood next turn.
Or I can, yeah, I mean,
Do
like
this,
I
you
said, I like.
have a 2-drop. You're not gonna Falcon next.
Right, no, I understand that. I
You
guess
can go
we have
one
like
into
three other.
two. Gives you more time to draw more 1 costs.
Okay. I like the information up front, but
Okay, question is,
Well,
you like the information? Okay, how does that change what you're gonna do? Let's imagine that Hood is a Spider-Ham and we touch something. How does it change the way that you're just gonna play Hood the next werewolf?
doesn't, because I mean, are you going to play Demon now too?
Yeah, I'm gonna play Demon here.
mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna use my energy. Because that's what I
Right.
do when I don't know what to do in a game.
Right. No, I understand that, but you're just going to pull it, right?
Oh,
Galactus?
no, Eliath.
I know, but
I mean, yeah.
Galactus decks run Eliath, right? I don't know anything else running Eliath right now.
On 2 Falcons?
I mean, in a werewolf deck, that could be fun.
Or 2 Sasquatches.
Yeah, but if you Nico Sasquatch as a 5 next turn, you would need to Falcon plus Nico.
Yeah.
I'm just placing
Mm-hmm.
next turn Werewolf plus Hood, then play all the 1 cost plus second Falcon.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Sounds good. Sounds like
Yeah,
a big
this feels
werewolf is on
this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the
I
turn
like it.
5, we play 4 cards. We play costs and 5. Have a cheap.
My only question is, did we want to snap here? Like, this is feeling pretty nice.
I don't know. The pilot does tell me anything.
Oh. Yeah.
What am I doing?
So is it the destroy right now on the Nico?
No, it's the bonus 2.
Oh. So you got I think it's werewolf and demon, but maybe then werewolf and demon left
Okay, why demon?
because I'm worried about Galactus on I guess it's only 4. It'd be only 5. Never mind. My bad. So then werewolf, I don't know. I guess it doesn't really matter. Werewolf left, and then Nico left as well.
I'm not gonna play Werewolf and Nico together. Like Werewolf.
Yeah. Play Nico on the left.
No, I mean, Werewolf center, then Nico left, or
I want to do
whatever.
this so I can pick it back up with Falcon.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there you go. Now you don't have to pick it up. That was nice of them.
Fine picking. Yeah, I got.
I feel like they miscalculated the Killmonger move.
That Galactus.
Oh, look at that.
So, okay, so
Oh,
what do
good.
we know about this? If they're playing Blink, it means they don't have Blink, but... Oh, okay, come on. This
So
feels pretty nice.
collector. Do we have anything to pull back? We can collector into the Falcon. Collector,
Falcon?
and then Collector Nico Falcon, I guess, or Collector. Do we have enough? 4/4. Yeah, we don't have that. Collector Nico Falcon. Yeah, I like that. I like that. And then next turn we have 2 demons and a Sasquatch to play because it'll be the
Okay.
Sasquatch will be a 3.
Or should
Yeah.
I don't like it that much. Oh, okay, never mind.
Oh, Destroyer.
Ignore me.
Okay. That's a big Destroyer.
Right, or just
I think we don't. I mean, I think you have to. Let's see. What do we got? We could do 22, but then when you could do 22 on the right if you want to compete for it,
I didn't
and
say I
just make.
want to. I'd much rather feel
I mean, I think
alternate.
it's. I think if you. I mean, yeah. I kind of. I don't know. It'd be surprising to go 22 on the right and just say like, okay, I'm going to win your right side.
It would be surprising to lose because we invested all our turn into one lane and the other two.
Yeah. So I guess it's just. I mean, but it's so it's Sasquatch and 2 demons then. So 2 demons on the left and Sasquatch center.
Because my last energy.
Oh, I'm sorry. Then there's a Spider Ham too as well. Then, or there you
Right?
go. Yeah,
This is a
Nico.
2, this is a 1.
No, I see it. Nico's 2. Yeah.
Let's focus on the simple stuff, the numbers. We have no idea what this dude is doing. Unless someone can tell me what deck it is. Really had no idea.
He's gonna
My
cop
question-
an Ultra.
What's the 0 that goes? Wasp? Oh no, they have 1 more energy. X23, okay. Oh, I
Okay.
see what deck it is. Okay, I've faced it once in my... Did about what...
Wouldn't it be better if you put Nico left and 1 demon on the middle, just to play it safer?
How is it?
No, like power-wise, just in case. Like the Nico goes to a 5 on the left, and then the demon goes as a 6 in the mid.
Yeah.
We would have been 30. We would have been 30 and 24. So we would have won either way, but
they got lucky with that. All those.
I don't know if it would have been. I mean,
Probably.
I don't know. Nidavellir is a location that's easy to catch up on lane 6.
Yeah,
I kind of
it
like
is.
the demon on the left. Just try to stay above.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, but it's also if I'm because we were behind. We were what? We were
Well,
ahead.
who's
The
the
other
pilot?
thing is the
Should I pilot
watching
one?
the shine.
Because you've been talking a lot, but you haven't piloted yet.
There you go.
Well, my job is kind of calling me back, but I'll do one quick one.
Right?
I
What
guess.
am I doing?
I think it's Snowguard left.
Oh, we're snowboarding with collector in hand?
Yeah, I'm on the clock, so I'm not focused. So if you need to change it, change it. I don't do Saturdays. I only do Sundays, but I wanted to join you guys.
Yeah, that's not... I mean, if you can do it, don't do it. It's just... It's one game of Snap. It's gonna take like 4 minutes.
Then we'll explain it to your boss.
Yeah, like hopefully.
All right, what am I doing?
Collector, middle.
I really don't want it to be beast.
Okay, then collector right.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess... Kinda know what they play?
Is this that one with like death and there you go.
Yeah, that's Def Jump.
Oh,
That's
that's
very
nice.
convenient.
Oh, Hood survived.
Too late.
Good boy, Hood.
See, he can turn to another one. You can guess.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, this is gonna be tough, huh?
I guess we could just use up our energy and just do a snow guard, just so we don't have to worry about like a random Sakar or Mojo World on the right.
I don't mind.
Oh, I was gonna do that like left, yeah.
Which
Interesting.
location?
I would have
I was gonna Beast and then US Agent in the middle.
Do you want a Beast Hood?
Yeah.
We have
Get
to
rid
do
of
it.
that.
We have to do it next turn then, because
Yeah. I think I would have bared on Sakar just to try to see if we can like get them to destroy their Death Strike with a Carnage or something like that.
But it doesn't reactivate the card no more, I think.
I wasn't so
I played it
keen
a couple
on
times.
giving them a free death or free Mockingbird.
Fair.
All right, Judai, what am I doing?
Beast and US Agent in the middle.
How about
Why now? Why am I not doing it like this to buff my collector?
Yeah, you could do that.
I don't know. You're the pilot.
Well, I'm at work, so you're gonna help me.
You talked in both previous games, and now that it's your
I was
game,
on my
you
break.
don't have time. Bang, Mysterio.
that's nice?
That's nice.
Does it summon 3 pigs?
No.
Damn it. Love pigs. Oh, Loki.
Righty.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Like Loki.
Same. But if you Loki, you're gonna get rid of all those.
You can keep the demon.
Yeah.
Or you could also just turn Hood. Yeah, I mean, maybe they don't have enough space. Like, we could do this. Good the other way, but like this. We decide if we attack this on the last turn.
Huh.
We're really
Yeah,
strong here.
that works for me.
We have to play a lot of cards here. Oh, Sasquatch. Ah, we.
Oh, nice.
Oh, all right.
Oh,
look at
that.
Oh.
I know what I want to do, Judai. I know what I want to do.
Okay, then take over while I go back to work.
All right.
And a demon?
Thank you, Judai, for telling me all the plays. Wait, I have Preo.
Interesting.
They're gonna kill Monger
Yeah.
my ass.
I did not totally understand.
Do I have a choice? Oh, I don't have a choice.
Do you want to drop a Sasquatch on the left?
Left?
I mean,
On
so
the
you
right.
think they've got a Killmonger?
Yeah, no, it's here then.
Wait, and then if you're gonna get Killmonger, do you want to play Hood left?
No, I'm
'Cause it
not gonna
bounces
play
back?
Hood just for the sake of being Killmonger. Don't be stupid.
Well, I was thinking it doesn't. It feeds one more into Collector.
Yeah, and if they don't have Killmonger, I just feel stupid for trying something. I'm gonna win.
Okay.
I'm gonna win the right. Like, I have 22. Killmonger is a 3-power card. They give me the left. Because if they Killmonger, they kill their demon. The only way was they play Killmonger plus they play left. They can't do that because Killmonger doesn't win any lanes. Oh, it's death. Oh, it's a pig. The death pig.
Death Pig. My favorite metal band.
I like the changes. Now there's points in it.
Yeah. Hood is a very, very strong move.
I had to fight
You
for
have
it.
two. Yeah, you have 2.5 ways to collect the Hood back up, so it's not a problem. You feed the collector, and it doesn't require guessing like Rocket. This just seems an improvement.
Let's. That doesn't work. Because can you guys see my snap?
I can just see Snap. You're on the deck editor.
Yeah.
You both.
Oh,
Yep.
yes.
Okay. So
Oh, okay.
So. All right, so. All right, so I'm going to write it this way, but this is not what I want us to talk about. What we talked about today was trying to understand the meta and see what we could do differently, win more. What we could do differently is play on Den's account, so have a crappy MMR, play whatever decks. That works.
Oh my goodness.
But here, we're going to change, because these are just names that we invented. We're going to write what they mean.
So the unique thing about Loki, got it.
This.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say we need help for, not in because we're going to lose them. It's in we see them a lot. It's worth investing in. All right, so the core. What do we do that others can't? Our hand.
We can discount our hand. We can be flexible, maximally flexible. Oh, you wouldn't put that under the bounce side of it? Move points around?
Bounce and basically, it's what we're doing
okay.
in the others can. What we can do and others can well, which are.
And as well. I see. Okay. Yeah.
What did you say? Sorry, I was in the.
I think you were about to say something.
No, you said something. Wrote move around because I didn't mind.
Oh, be very flexible.
Okay, but what part of the game? Flexible is a generic term. Other decks can be flexible. Is there type of flexibility that we have and they don't?
We can play cards that aren't in our deck. I guess that we can be flexible to play cards that we didn't
flexible on our deck list.
Start.
Yeah. I would say a thing we can do that others can't is we can decide if we're going to be reactive or proactive on really any round.
Active. We can react. Can we be reactive? Like reacting and being reactive are different things. Reacting is seizing an opportunity. Being reactive is purposefully falling behind because we think reacting is our best way to win the game.
Yeah, I see it.
I don't recall
we can
one
react.
game when we're like, oh, let's pass. We don't want priority here. Like, I'm not against, like, yes, let's be mindful of US agents. Let's cash in on a good Red Guardian. Absolutely. But I don't recall one time where we suggested, oh, do a bad play so we're behind and we can punish them for it.
Yeah, that's right. That makes sense. So I guess. Oh yeah, go ahead.
I'm just going on the location control. We can cost discount. We can do a lot at once. Others can.
Yeah. We can do mild disruption. a thing Loki can do well that others really can't is thrive in a really, really diverse meta.
Well, good thing it is a really, really diverse meta. Why we write Loki in the first place?
Exactly. So I'm just saying for the top list, the top cluster.
Top cluster.
What Loki Bounce does and others can't is, in a sense, prepare for 15 other decks.
I mean, if we look at the stats, there are at least like 5 other decks that do it better than Loki already.
All right. Then I'd put it in the middle. Thrive in a contested meta. Yeah.
Okay. Now that we've done this, we're gonna assign the cards in front. This is Loki.
Yeah.
Loki.
Snow Guard.
Beast, Falcon.
This is a very diverse category. It's manipulating points, location, and growth. Yeah.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
I mean, because you need like Beast still in there, right? Beast and Falcon.
Yeah, points and growth, and maybe manipulate location. I don't know, manipulate points and growth seems like the same idea, so I'm fine with just manipulate points.
Yeah, I was just gonna go the.
Okay, so for manipulating points, you've got Collector. You've got Werewolf, U.S. Agent.
So manipulate points.
Agent, Red Guardian, Werewolf.
U.S. agent doesn't manipulate opposing points. That's certain.
Okay.
Right? Like, this is what Loki Bounce does and the others can't. The others can play.
Oh, I thought we were just talking about what cards achieve this goal.
Yes.
I see. Gotcha.
But
like uniquely, I see.
we're still in the
Werewolf then should go
category
under here.
of this card is easy for us to play.
Gotcha.
Actually,
Mhm. Yeah, so this is tricky that others can't.
I don't know anyone. I guess anybody can run Snow Guard, but nobody does.
well, everyone manipulates Nocturne. You do it. And I'm not saying this is entirely right. Very much brains.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I guess you could say at the very, very top cluster, change our hand. That could also be a Nico, like when you draw 2 cards. Like, I don't like what I've got. Let's accelerate my draw.
That would be draw card. What I mean by change or
Yeah, cycle. Yeah.
It's like it's playing Loki is always like playing 2 decks, right? You're playing your deck and then
Yeah.
whatever the other players was playing.
Gotcha. I didn't know how narrow or broad that was. Got it.
Yeah.
All right.
The only other card would be would you we don't have it in this deck, and then the question then is, does Quinjet, should that be a card, or would you consider that a core? There's very few Loki decks that don't play Quinjet.
Yeah, but there's very few Loki that bounce Queen.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Now that we have the core, question is, because we don't really know meta, mostly to this point,
Mm-hmm. And collector.
Sasquatch is
Yeah.
let's say Red Guardian. Red Guardian.
I mean, it's disruption.
Yeah,
That's a tech card, isn't it? Well, I mean, it's not a targeted tech card anymore, but
that's the thing. Like Red Guardian and Spider-Ham, they actually answer the question matchup we help for. We have no idea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
See, for example, why don't we enable it? Werewolf.
Works with collector.
Why don't we have Mirage in this?
I think it's yeah, a lot of this was focused on just points, and I think in that middle cluster on the mind map, do we have a category that's just points? Yeah, we need that because that's one, like, it's a lot of metas, but it's especially this meta, like, just drop big cards that others can do as well. Yeah. Like, I think that explains why, Hood, US Agent, Sasquatch are there. So what do we need? What else do we need help with? Or is there just something we want to be even stronger at?
Valentina, she hasn't been really overwhelming, right? But she feeds the collector. She changes our hand. She's 2/3, so she's just as good. She's something else.
I'd rather have
So
Cable.
no, most people. I mean, I'm not disagreeing. I'm just saying that it's another. It falls in that same category. Works with werewolf. I mean, I guess with uh, uh, Mirage, that does better. What do you call it? It's more what's the name of it? You get a little more uh, maybe something else to feed the werewolf with.
Well,
But
I don't know. So I mean, I get the idea, Loki's, usual companions, but if we're trying to think what else could we do in this meta, if we've got pieces like Hood on the ground, US Agent, I don't know, like I'm wondering if like maybe it could be fun to run Sentry, like you can, or maybe just an Annihilus, I don't know.
Kind of defeat. I mean, Sentry
How
and
so?
Nihilist, how do they?
Well, you can scoop up the demon or the whatever it's called, the void with beast. That's free 8 points.
Pay 2.
Mm.
Like Sentry, you don't do something.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
actually, what you did is have a 6/10 for. Well, have a 6.
Except that this deck is usually going to be trying to bounce cards anyways.
Not
It's not
trying to
like
do
we're
it on
only
turn
playing
5.
beast.
Trying to do it
Okay.
much earlier.
Hmm. Well, all right. If we think about the decks or the hands that we were playing there, what did we feel like we were missing? What do we want to be stronger at?
I don't know. I feel like the card we never used
Still,
was Red Guardian. We used it Thanos for.
Yeah.
all right. Let's go back to the list of what we said were like the 6 best cards right now for one of the other decks. Could any of those help us?
Well, let's
White.
see. Echo, we don't care about. There's Sage. Sage goes with
Sage could be
Bounce.
fun to bounce. Yeah.
Jeff works. Safe.
White Widow can be fun to
Um,
bounce. I don't know. What else do we need?
Wake works. Gives us a different look at. Nocturne gives us.
Quake is always good. It's a little hard with Loki sometimes, but
The deck felt good.
Mm-hmm.
do we do Nocturne? But
I think the
Or
question is.
Mockingbird?
Question is. I feel like Spider.
yeah, we use that one a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, you can bounce it. Once you like the thing is, like because we have low cards that you bounce are not a problem because they don't stick. You Spider Ham, you bounce
Mm-hmm.
it, you replay it.
Loki, yeah. So then are we just replacing? Then are we replacing? Um,
Well,
what do you
right
call
now
it?
we're back to 11 out of 12 of what we had. The 12th one, Red Guardian. I
Right. So do
feel
we
like
just replacing Red Guardian?
the identity have it, like, unless we want to boost. Otherwise, it's just like the election of the best flexible card in the game.
So the
Yeah.
Red Guardian was there for we're not sure what we're gonna face. Let's have a reactive card. Is there something else that's better? Do we not want to have a reactive card in that way?
Yeah, I'm not saying the card is bad. I'm trying to give it a
I
meaning.
mean, it gives you an answer to remote Ravona. It gives you an answer to Sunspot.
I mean, Wong, lots of things.
Yeah. I mean, the question is it better than say, um, what was the 2/3? I just lost my brain emptied out. Cable. It's different. So yeah.
4 points, 5.
I mean, Agent Coulson's another one, right? We haven't considered that one.
I have Quinjet, so I feel like we're
Gotcha.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like
stay on this.
I would rather have Red Guardian than US Agent, I think.
I like US Agent. My
I like
favorite
him a
card is
lot,
when
but like if I don't, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I just like it when you pick up the when they play Super Scroll and you have US
Yep.
Agent down. I'm like,
Shit,
oh
you need
look,
to
I'm gonna
stop
punish
playing
you
Marvel
twice.
Snap like it's your day every
Yeah.
That's
I
the-
mean, look, one of my favorite plays was like US Agent Mystique on the Onslaught Iron Man lane. It was a negative 56. So like
Yeah.
there's lots of fun things you can do that. But
you could try Cable. This is more focused on the deck, while USA we're
Mm.
gonna be worse. Pretty pre. Now we have
Do
Spider
we
Hand plus Cable, which like they work together.
Yeah. I wish Master Mode was a 2/3.
I don't
mm,
really know why, but sure.
I think he'd be more he fits some of the other 2/3s that are out there.
Oh yeah.
Um huh.
All right. I don't think we go much further. You have to test.
hmm So our big change was Cable and the US Agent, right?
Well, no, compared to the
Oh, but I mean over what we were playing last round.
yeah, we got Cable.
Okay. All right.
Right.
I mean,
We're just gonna try Cable. Sounds good.
yeah. Cable's good against almost anything, so yeah.
All right, though. On this note, this is the end of the session. As usual, lasted way longer than he was supposed to, but we're having fun. Apparently, Judai got in trouble at work, so okay.
Well, for the official YouTube record, actually, Jedi was telling us to focus more on work. Like, if anything, right? Right? Give Jedi a raise. Okay. Yes.
Should I feel bad that I asked us to move to Saturday so I could play while I was at work?
I think your patients should feel bad, but
Probably.
I did what I was supposed to do this morning.
All right, you two.
oh.
Goodbye. Next week. Have a good one.